Hello everybody, my name is Sennholz. I am the game director of Eat Tomorrow and owner of SoulPix. We live and work in Hanover, Germany. And I'm here to talk with the GTVR guys about our first PSVR game, Eden Tomorrow.
What's up everybody in the VR community, and welcome to the 6th episode of the GTVR Developer Report. As always, I want to start by thanking all the viewers for supporting the show with all the likes, shares across Facebook, Reddit and Twitter. And for those who are new to the show, the aim of the show is to give you an insight into VR developers' latest projects, exploring their past within the gaming industry, some Q&A with our live audience made up of VR enthusiasts and passionate content creators. And all of this is made possible thanks to Rec Room. And that brings us to our guest of this week. Please welcome Frank Sennholz from SoulPix. Hey.
Hi there. Thank you for being in the show. Awesome.
Oh, man. He has joined us to talk about his latest game, which is an exclusive to PlayStation VR, the sci-fi venture known as Eden Tomorrow, which is available today.
Hey.
True. Nice. So how are you today, Frank?
Yeah. Man, I can't describe it really. I'm excited. I don't sleep since the last 2 or 3 nights. So I wish I can always be drunk. But I'm watching now many YouTube videos, reviews, and all that. The feeling is great, but I can't really describe it in words. So
I bet it's so exciting. It
is. My team. Always running crazy. They smoke like chains, and they're like, "Come on, what's next? And this is the best. It's the best time of our lives, for real. It sounds kitschy, but it's the best time we ever had.
I believe it would be. How would you describe Eden Tomorrow to someone who has never seen the game before?
It's a fantastic journey through an unknown world, and it's a mix between a game and a movie, and it's a journey you never can make plans of. You go for it. You don't know where you are. You don't know what you are or who you are, and then you see, okay, this is another world, and you have a partner, Newton, this wonderful artwork right here on the left. He helps you. This is your mate, and you go on a ride with your best friend, and you don't know where this ends.
So, how many people work at SoulPix? And I believe you own SoulPix. Is that correct? You're the owner?
Yes, that's correct. I'm the owner. Sounds bigger than it is. We are a very, very small indie team. And before we create Eden Tomorrow, we was a pure special effects studio. So we make special effects for movies or advertising, commercials, whatever. And in 2014, we checked the first VR device, the Oculus DK1. Say, okay, that's the way we must do a VR game. And we started in the first year with only 3 people, very, very small, just planning, writing, made some assets. And then the main year of production, we was with 7 people. And the last year, 2018, we was back again with 3 people. So a very small team, but it was very close. Every day, 12 or 13 hours. Weekend, most of the weekends we work. And now we have no work anymore, and we are very happy about that.
Because really. I believe you said that some of the staff are now on holiday.
Yeah, definitely. Next week we always we all want to go out and take some days off. It's very, very necessary.
Nice. So I take it financially, your special effects was always still running at the same time.
Yeah. We tried that. The first year we tried to do creation or planning of the game and make some jobs. Sometimes it works, sometimes not. And in the main production year, there was no way. So as a small studio, it's hard to get customers and to hold them. So this was always a challenge to create a game and satisfy your customers. And some customers are gone away, but the old ones or friends, they're still working with us. So yeah, next time, the next months or weeks, we create some special effect jobs, but we're hoping making the new game because we love gaming and that's our real life.
That must be incredible to start doing special effects and then just think one day, I'm going to make a virtual reality game. And Eden Tomorrow is based on, is it an idea you had in previous times? Is it a dream? Yes. Or where did it come from?
It's originally an idea I had in 2003. It was the world of Eden Tomorrow is a world of an animation movie we never did. So it's very expensive and we are in Germany. So it's very hard to do something like this here. And we wrote a final script of this animation movie and there was this world. And it never left me. So I always develop more and more and more. And yeah, as I first tried the first HMD, it's the Oculus Rift DK1, I say, yeah, this is the right thing. And we had always the right story. And now we make a game. We must do this game, no matter what it costs. And yeah, we did.
Right, so you touched on that you used the Oculus Rift first of all. What was your first experience in virtual reality?
That is the thing I always want to do. This is, it's like you fall in love with the first view. I don't know it really in English, but you see a girl and you say, this is a girl of my life. And that's exactly the feeling I had the first time I tried the DK1. Said, this is like holodeck. This is amazing.
Holodeck, yeah, from Star Trek. What did you play then? What did you try in virtual reality?
That was the experience was really shit. It was like a ray trace checkup point. It came with the DK1. There was a download code, and it looks like shit, but the experience was you're inside, not in front of, and this feeling. Everybody, you know it, and all the people know it, which ever tried HMD. But that was the kick in my heart, and I say, yeah, let's do it. But
that's beautiful.
Yeah, definitely.
That is awesome. Your game is a PlayStation exclusive.
Yes.
What led you down that road towards PlayStation? Because the fact that you brought up Oculus first makes me wonder.
Yeah, sure. As we tried this, I looked to my guys and said, okay, which one of you can code? And nearly all of them say, no coding, just modeling, asset animation. But there was one guy, Christian, called Kubi. Kubi had some knowledge of coding. And then we tried to work with Unity. And we had some assets from a movie we did before, something with dinosaurs, like it's always dinosaurs, you know. And we took we took this high-res meshes from Maya to Unity, and then we do a VR programming on it, and that was impressive. So it was like walk with dinosaurs. They come and yeah, the performance was bad, but the feeling was, oh my God, awesome. And then we developed this a little bit further and create something like a little prototype. Not real big thing, not amazing, but looks cool. It was cool looking. And this one we load up to the Oculus Sharedown. So in 2040 or 2015, there was this Sharedown. So everybody can load up some demos or experience. And we did this. And many downloads, I don't know, 4,000 or 5,000. You know, it's a developer edition, so this was very much. And yeah, one time, very, very late in the evening, I get a phone call from Sony.
Wow.
And
yeah,
that was exactly this feeling. I said, oh my God, is this real or is it just a fake? I have very bad friends, so they make always bad jokes with me, and they know my wishes or my dreams, and say, okay, but this was real. And this Sony guy asked, okay, we saw your demo, it's cool, but what do I want to do with this? So should this be a game or experience? I say, man, we want to make a game. And then, okay, so come to London and let's meet together, let's have a meeting and talk about your ideas. And that was the first step. And yeah, the rest is history.
That is incredible. That must have been, oh, that I can't believe how happy you must have been.
Yeah.
How did you sleep that night, dude? How did you sleep?
I didn't sleep this night. No, I don't. And the next, and yeah, and then the day we fly to London, I get my best friend with it. Come on, let's talk to them. And it was like in a, you know, a little bit like in a movie. So big street, big house, and hey, this is Sony, and we are SoulPix. Okay, and yeah, but it was real fun, and the people at Sony are really nice, and they understand gaming so much, and yeah, then we worked together for this 3 years, very close, and it was really a pleasure to work with them, definitely.
Oh, I'm so happy for you. That's lovely.
Thank you.
So, hi, I'm Deej from GT's channel. It's nice to meet you, Frank. I was just wondering, was there any plans for a physical release of the game?
Actually not. Actually, we don't know how much units we can sell or we sold already. Right now, I don't say no, we don't make a physical release, but let's see what time will bring.
Okay, cool. I've been playing the game all day. I've played
cool.
it from start to finish. I've
Wow.
really enjoyed it.
How long did you need?
Well, I think I took 2 breaks, so about 5 hours or so.
Okay,
Something
that sounds
like
great.
Perfect.
Yeah, it was really good. Yeah, so what I was wondering about the companions, did you have to experiment a lot with getting the right combination of sort of voice actor and companion for it? Was it always the same idea, or has it changed over time?
Well, this is a progress which never stops. So as we wrote the story the first time, it was much longer than it's now, but we learned them to compress, to make it a little bit tighter. The pacing is much faster now, and so actually I think this is the right length of all. And so yeah, it's always in progress. You are never happy with it. So sometimes you say, okay, now we need to finish it, and that's the way we did it now. But you can always do it better, sure.
Oh, I think you found a really good combination. I think you really have. But yeah, thank you very much, Frank.
You're welcome.
Yay.
Hi there, Frank. It's Paul from the VR Realm.
Hey, Paul.
The question I've got is around inspirations, because I've not got through the full game yet, but I've played up to where you first go inside the tunnel and you need to go around the sleeping dragon or whatever.
Okay. This is very early, so there's so much more you can explore.
Yeah. But the reason I want to know about inspiration is when you first get into the cave and the worm bursts out the floor. I was just streaming my first impressions. Straight away I said, that was like Tremors.
It is, of course. I love all this old science fiction, or it's not trash, you know, but it's a special kind of movie, and they don't have so much budget, but they try to do the best of. And Tremors is, I don't know how much times or how many times I watched this movie, but I love it. And this is definitely the inspiration for these sequences, yes.
Yep. And did you take any inspiration from anywhere else, or was it just around the
Yeah, sure. Because in my team, I'm the very oldest, so I'm 47 now, and the rest of my team is 25, 28, so these are very young people. And as I was a small kid, I always watched so much TV, so much science fiction, even movies I don't have to watch because I was so young, but it was something like Logan's Run or Soylent Green, all this stuff in the 70s, 80s. I don't know if these are the English titles of these movies, but in Germany...
Right. Spot on.
Okay, so you very good. You all know them, and when you're small, you don't need perfect special effects. You need a story or something where you're inside. You go with the story and
your imagination
you love it.
helps.
Yes, exactly. And movies like this are always a big inspiration for me and for Even Tomorrow as well.
Hi, Frank. I'm South Ketchup from South Ketchup VR. On YouTube. I just wanted to touch base on, you've actually said about movie side as well, and obviously sound effects and music play a big point in games. Was the scoring more fully conceptualized out more at the beginning, or has it changed a lot over the time of the scoring? Because it's the first game score for this music writer, isn't it, I believe?
Yes, this is a long story and a special story. So first of all, I was a game composer as I was very young. With 18, 19, I did two composings for two games. So I know how musicians work or composers work. And as I wrote the story, I always have some tracks to get me in the right mood. And I make some very basic tracks, maybe some harmonies or some melodies as a temp music. So when I create a scene, I always have the music in my mind, always. And I try to match this and show this. And then I find our composer, Dirk. We have a very cool special making of this music. And I show him these tracks and say, okay, the scene needs a special mood or a special feeling. And here are some basic ideas. Can you work with it? And say, yeah, it's much easier. I can work with music more than with words, of course. And for him, it was very easy to work, for me too. So I always mixing words with music, because basically I'm a composer, I'm a musician. And for me, it's very important that the soundtrack of In Tomorrow is such a big thing with real orchestra and core and everything. You should definitely try out the making of the music. It's really nice to watch.
Okay, so that's another thing that leads on from this as well. Will the actual orchestral score be available as a separate download or something like that on iTunes or anything else like that?
We're definitely working on that, and we were talking to Sony. We have 27 tracks, nearly 1 hour playtime, and it's too good to have it not as a soundtrack. Actually, I don't know how we can publish this, but we will do definitely, maybe as a download in the PlayStation Store or Spotify or Apple Music. I don't know. I must talk to the Sony guys, but for sure we will get this to the people.
That's really cool. I know if you haven't played it already, Tetris did a similar thing actually, because all the Tetris music, and you put a little USB drive in the PS4, and then it can load onto the drive. And I know there's obviously a few people out there who already really like the epicness of the spring.
Yes,
So
yes.
that would be something that would probably make them light up, I think.
Yeah, good idea. We try everything. We do this next week. So this week is release and making interviews and all that. But yeah, we want to try to make something with the soundtrack.
What about pro features for Eden Tomorrow? Is there any, or is there any coming?
Yeah, sure. We have, you mean PlayStation Pro features?
PlayStation Pro features, yeah.
Yeah, it's already implemented. So if you have a PlayStation Pro, many scenes are much more sharper and clear rendering than the normal PlayStation version. So it's already integrated.
It's just really cool to hear, A, you're a musician, and B, that you put your own music in it first as temp music and then work off that, because again, I've done that. It's awesome.
Yeah,
but what
cool.
I was actually going to ask you about was the mechanics in the game, because I was thinking this is looking like a cool sci-fi experience. I don't know how much I'm going to get to control it. And then Newton speaks to you, asks you a question, do you understand? And you go,
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yeah, sure.
No one's done that. No one's done that at all. So that alone instantly brought me closer to the robot. And then when you did the twist where you can actually control the robot and and get them to do stuff, and vice versa, you can change it back and forth between the human and the robot. That's fantastic.
Thank you.
And just enjoying the experience. And I'm glad you came in here, and I'm glad you like the environment you're in.
I thought you brought up a good point there, because if you're nodding to a character in the game instead of pressing a button, the button is on the outside and the nodding is on the inside of the game, so that keeps you immersed. It's a clever idea. It's a good idea.
Yeah, it's very simple. It was one of the things. It was not in the script, but one evening I was go to a sushi bar, and there was a sushi cook, and he don't speak German. I don't speak Japanese, of course. And I tried to explain him what I want, but he didn't understand anything. And then he starts to say this and this and this. Yes, and then he saw some octopus ugly shit, and I said no, and I said okay, and then and that was the reason, and I got my meal and eat and said, what? That's a good idea. You don't have to talk, and you can interact with the character. Next day we integrate this, and everybody that's cool. So very easy inspiration from real life.
Yeah, it's a universal.
Everybody understands it. Everybody.
Yes. Yeah. Excellent stuff.
That's weird though, because I've actually been talking. Like, you find it because you've nodded a few times to Newton, you start speaking to.
Yeah, I speak to Newton. Yeah, I speak to Newton all the time. 5
times. I've been like, yeah, man, we're going through this bit, and it's like this really quiet section when you've got to get past someone, and you're looking at it. I'm like, why am I speaking to this thing? It's not going to speak back to me, but it does with a chat. It has. But it's great.
Absolutely.
I understand. Cool.
Brilliant. So like I say, I've finished the game today. I was wondering. Thank you. Was there any DLC, or is there a part 2 planned? I don't give any away.
Yes. Of course, the story ends with a. It's okay how it goes, how it continues. It's like a cliffhanger, and I wish I can't say it now for real because I don't know it. We want to make definitely an episode 2. A DLC is not it's not the right word. In Tomorrow 2 would take very, very much time. So the idea is something like a DLC, but not with 5 or 6 hours, maybe with 2 hours, so that you can see how the story continues and how it will develop. And we want to do this, but actually we must wait for some numbers with this game, have an impact or not. And then, we want to do it, but I can't promise it right now.
Well, I'd really love to see where the story goes from here. Like I said, I don't give anything away, but yeah, I've really did enjoy the story. Thought it was brilliant.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Nice one.
I've got a question now around the controls. Obviously, it's DualShock 4 controlled. Was there any plans to implement the Move controllers?
No. From the start, because for this game you don't need it. It's planned already for DualShock controllers, and because there is really no need to do it. I like other games where you have full interaction with Oculus Rift or PlayStation Move controllers, but for Eden Tomorrow, no, there was no plans, and I think it makes actually no sense.
Is there like any aspect that you planned at the beginning? Because obviously the game's taken quite a time to develop. Is there any one aspect that stands out as the most changed across its development to you? That you really went, I thought this in the beginning, but by the end you've gone, my thought has completely changed?
Not completely. So this is a dynamic process too. You have millions of ideas or thousands of ideas, and then you must say, okay, what we can do in this time, can we do with a small team? And at the very beginning of In Tomorrow, we had 3 characters, not 2. So there was a drone, the human, and there was a mechanical dog, a real strong guy for close combat. And as we tried this to make close combat in VR, it doesn't work. It was not the real thing. And even Sony say, come on, it's many work to do a good game with 2 characters. If you make it with 3 characters, this will maybe not work. And this was the biggest thing we changed directly from the start. We kicked one of the main characters. But today I say, yeah, it was a very good decision. It was really hard enough to do it with two characters.
So the mechanical dog got kicked to the proverbial curb.
Yeah.
What was the mechanical dog's name? Actually, because he might come back in another episode, maybe. So yeah.
His name was, hey, it's so clever, DOG, Defense on Ground System. Dogs, DOG, and for Germans it's hard to make cool names in English, but
that's cool.
And the design was really cool. So he has 2 stages, the idle, the normal stage, and then when we go angry, he makes something like stings on his back, and I can show you. It's really nice, but maybe in the second episode, who knows?
Yeah, yeah, you never know.
That is so 80s sci-fi. That is so 80s sci-fi.
Okay, he does make a small cameo in the game, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I never dropped that mic, man.
What, you saw him in the game, DJ?
I think I did, yeah, or a mention of him.
Yes.
Like, I've been exploring around everywhere, sort of thing.
So there is a mention.
Yeah, we have a dead version of it. We have a dead version of the dog in the in one of the levels, Metal Flowers. But we have in the 10th or 9th level we have a dead version of this dog. But it's the original character design was really more amazing for sure.
Cool.
So I've got a viewer question for you, Frank.
Mm-hmm.
So this is by Texatron. He was surprised by the price of your game. He said,
Me too.
Games of this caliber are normally priced around the $40 to $50 range. So
Yes,
how did you
yes.
come up with the price for your game, and did you use market research to do so?
Not really research, but our idea was it's our first game, and as from the start we didn't really know which what we come up to the end. So it's such a long time, and I think it's a good idea to make a game cheaper, and you have more value from it than you make a very high price game. You have maybe only 3 hours of playtime, or it's not entertaining. And but it's not a really research thing. I think €19 or $19 was it feels good. It was okay, and we talked together with Sony, and we come together to this price. But I think it's okay it's a good package for this money.
I think especially on the day of release, you had a discount for
Yes.
PS Plus users.
Yes, true.
Which knocked off. Was it 20%? I think was it.
Yes, 20%. So €15 in Germany, for example.
I thought, and I still think that even though I've only played 2.5 hours, I think for what you're doing, what's on offer, I think that's a fantastic price.
Nice to hear. Thank you very much.
Question here that's from the chat. It's just asking if there's any more difficulties jumping through hoops, meeting criteria, etc., compared to, making a game on the PlayStation compared to doing it on the PC or Oculus. And I just want to know if there's any similarities or differences.
Yeah, because this is our first game, I don't have any experience with other publishers or other things like Oculus. I really don't know. So that's the answer.
You're not sure at the moment.
Cool. So I've got a question from one of GT's viewers, the Scottish Gamer.
Okay.
And he asks, what made you use a talking ball as a companion in this fantastic game? And were you inspired by any object in Destiny?
I don't know any Destiny games. No, for real. The first idea was yes, we need a companion. We need a drone which is small and flexible and can fly and can transform in some ways. And our 3D asset master, who is not here today because he is in New Zealand, He is definitely a fan of Destiny for sure, but as we made the first designs and we changed it, we have maybe 6 or 7 versions of Newton, and the final one was the one I choose. And I'm not a Destiny player, and I never tried before. And yes, it's a little bit in that way, but it's not a copy. So we say, oh, this is Destiny, come on, let's do it the same way. Not, it's maybe a little bit inspired, why not? But I think it's not a copy.
Okay, cool. I've just thought of a question as well. As I was playing the game, one thing that came across was the really good level of voice acting, and I wondered, was it hard to find all these voice actors? Or?
Yes. Definitely, because it's very hard. If you live and work in Germany, there are not so many native speakers. Some people speak English, of course, but there's no way to have some native speakers, or very few, but maybe the voice is not the one you like. And I have a friend here in Hanover, and this guy have a friend in London, and this one is Andrew Smith. I hope you see it. And he said, okay, for Newton, I know which sound you need. I know what you like. Try this guy. And then we do it the very cheap way. I call this guy, I say, come on, give me some examples of your voice acting, and even over the phone, no problem. I will reprocess in my audio station. And he did this, and it was, I showed the team, and they said, man, this is Newton, this is awesome. So this guy, he's very young, he's maybe, I don't know, 22 or 23, very young guy, but very motivated, very talented, and this guy rocks this through, and then we fly him to Hanover, here to Germany, because for me it's better when I can direct a little bit in person, not over phone line or Skype. And he made all takes from I think 300 or 400 in one day, and there was time for some German beer. Then he fly home, and it was it was a really nice, really nice experience.
Doing voice work, I'd love to do that.
Yeah,
and there should always be time for German beer.
I've got a
Favorite German beer.
What is your favourite German beer? If I went into a shop, Frank, to buy a beer, what beer would you recommend I buy if I can find it?
Of course, beer from Hanover. So this is Herrenhäuser or Lindner. So if you ever come to Germany or to Hanover, come to us, to Soulpix, and I show you the best local beers. I like local beer. And try it out. It's very good, but it's only here in Hanover, so it's not a German beer. It's very small, but traditional, 100 years old, and tasty, makes you drunk like hell. Everything is fine.
Everything is fine. I love that.
It's always fine, man.
That's it. Everything is fine. I love it.
That's good, man.
That's brilliant.
Okay, so through the whole development of the game, you will have to obviously try different sections of the game out quite a lot. And straight away from the demo, because I've only played the demo part thus far, you've got a couple of bits of some of these big, nasty beasts coming at you. Mm-hmm. How many times did you actually go, ah! while you was actually in the office?
You don't want to know it. Endless. I think I didn't count it. So 500, 600, 700. I really don't know. I always I wake up in the night and say and this, and I have all these words in me and all the sounds, and I'm even the sound designer, and endless. But I can't say it in numbers.
That is brilliant. I'm glad you could still manage to scare yourself with your own monsters.
That is nice, yeah.
Yes,
that's something. Sure. That's a whole new level. That's a level beyond. You can scare yourself with your own monsters.
This is from Rakan. He's right. Not all games release a demo, so I wondered, what is the thought process that determines if you release a demo or you don't release a demo? Is it primarily yourself that decides, or is it Sony who decides, or both?
In this case, definitely my choice, because I want that people can try our game, and especially in a VR game, I think it's very important that you can test it. So some games make you motion sickness or whatever, other games don't, but if you have the chance to try it, You say, okay, this is my kind of game, and I can work with the movement. I don't get sick in the head, and so this was definitely my will or my idea. Come on, let's try a demo. And then we talked to Sony. They said, yeah, come on, let's do it. And it's 2 or 3 extra weeks to make this. But yeah, for me. Yeah, sure. You don't have the full game and say, cut, here's a demo. So you kick off the trophies, you make some optimizations, you must cut off the other levels. And it's really, really more work than normal people thought. But I think it's worth it. So you can try the game and you know definitely this is my kind of game or not. In my old times as a player, there was magazines. You go to a shop, you have a magazine, there's a DVD or a Blu-ray, whatever. But there are tons. Days. Yeah. I miss those games too. And you put it in your PC or whatever, and you play. Say, this is my kind of game. This is not. And today you have no choice. You buy it. Maybe you like it, but maybe not. And I like that old style approach.
And I've spoken to other developers before this. A demo seems to be quite. It's weird. Some developers are sort of a bit like you. They say, yeah, it's 2-3 weeks, but it's worth it. Some developers say it's too much work and it would add too much time. Yeah. And yet I know, like you just said, I think the guys know that a demo is actually worth it. So that's really cool.
Definitely. Shoes, you're putting a quality product out there, doesn't it? You're not just putting anything else if you're not going to release a demo.
And that's the problem. There's 2 ways of looking at it, because some people will think you do a demo, therefore maybe you're trying to hide something. You know, some people think that sometimes in virtual reality, because at the moment the content doesn't always and the price doesn't always represent what you're going to get. Yeah. Virtual reality is so there's no real blueprint of knowing what something costs to how long it's going to last to what you're going to get. Virtual reality is not like normal games. It's you know, like
completely different story.
It's completely different, and it's still a new story. People are still learning. So I think demos are very important at the moment.
My words. Yes.
Frank, Sennholz, thank you ever so much for coming on the GTVR Developer Report and taking the time out to meet these guys and talk about your fantastic game, Eden.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. See you again.
Pleasure. Excellent. So now it's time for the group photo, Frank.
Yeah.